Okay, guys, I want to make this quick. I want to do semifinals and finals together, just to kind of end off this series. So we've learned a lot. We've learned that. So what I've learned, at least, is that when I give a blind box or a mystery box, depending on which part of the world you come from, you should guide the person through it with stickers and labels, and you should think about the person walking through it in a video. Cover them up as you go, so it's a surprise. Pack them well. Fewer books are better. You kind of want to think about it if the person kept one book out of your mystery box, will they find value in that one book? And many of you do this. Make sure you get feedback. If you want to keep doing this and you want to keep people happy and buying your blind boxes, get feedback. Realize that there will be people that prefer a deep selection, some silver, bronze, modern, etc., while others prefer current modern, while others collect certain types of covers, others collect certain types of variants. So the blind boxes that have a theme kind of help with that. So definitely look at all those options when you're going through it. Alright, let's finish this up. So this is what we have. We have James W. against Ben Parker Comics. Clear winner for me there is James. He had... the selection is just better. In my mind. Ben had a great theme. He had some great comics. And he had that spectacular Spider-Man at the end. Spider-Man 65. But because James's, which I know is not the proper pronunciation of multiple James or ownership of James, James' box was fewer titles and less fluff, it got the point across much easier. So James wins that one for me. These decisions are awful. I did not think this through, that I would have to make such a difficult decision. I think if it was 8 boxes it would be easier, but this is just hard. And then we have Chasing Keys and Grails Roy with the box of Gunfire, Venom 27, Peter Parker, Mary Jane variant, Undiscovered Country, Nyx 4, Umbrella Academy 1, and Amazing Fantasy. And then we have against that one, we have JC. And JC was also a box of fire. We had Batman 102, Batman Joker Warzone, the big one, the Killing Zone, Snake Eyes Dead Game 2 with the Purple Rain cover, and then Batgirl's Purple Rain cover. Then we have Daredevil 25 Second Print and King of Black 1. Here's the problem with JC's box, and here's why he fell to Chasing Grails, Keys of Grails. If you're in the IG community, if you're in the active comic collectors community, you've seen all of this and a lot of it. Which I will tell you, any other day, any other competition, it probably would have won. Roy's is similar, but what broke the mold there, for me, was the Peter Parker Spectacular #1, Mary Jane. And then the Nyx. Nyx 4? That's what broke... Playing those two against each other, that's what broke the mold there for me. So there you have it. Our final, if I haven't screwed this up now, is... Loading. James versus Chasing Keys and Grails. Now, I've run this scenario many times. I've run the scenario of who would win many times in my head, trying to play how I feel about each one and what I think is a winner versus a loser. And every time James is in the final two. And 80% of the time, James wins the final two. The thing I'm having a hard time with when putting him up against Chasing Keys and Grails is that Superman 1, Major X4, and Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane. I'm going to give Major X4 a pass because that's the kind of thing that a person that got the comic blind box goes back to him and says, ha ha ha, that Major X4, oh man, that was funny. You know it. You know that's true. Okay. School shooting, Where the Wild Things Are, Death's Head Gold, Fantastic Four, Black Hawk 117. Okay. Versus Venom 27. That's the Carnage, Peter Parker, Mary Jane, Undiscovered Country #1, which is hot right now, Nyx 4, which is a great comic, Umbrella Academy #1. I feel like that was the weakest component of the bin, or the box. It's spec though. So, The Amazing Fantasy #1 versus Errata. Okay. Even though James's box feels better to me, no, it doesn't. Okay. I feel like the winner. So the Marcel winner is Chases Keys and Grails, Roy. Congratulations. I don't know that I agree with that, but it's how it played out. Everyone had... So all 18 people had really good blind boxes. The ones that went heavy, it lost, like a lot of comics, it lost a little bit of focus. I think AKA came the closest to having a lot of comics but maintaining focus. And then he maintained focus around G.I. Joe. He maintained focus around, some key comics. And I'll tell you, almost every one of AKA's comics I needed. Or wanted, or whatever you call it. I think there's one that I probably got between him making the blind box and me opening the blind box. Anyhow, there was a lot of current modern. And in fact, the person that won had a lot of current modern. The key there is to combine expected with unexpected. For me, at least. Every comic I flip over, I want to have that moment either because of the previous comic, or because it's got a note on it that tells me what it is or why it is, or that it's just so well known that I cannot avoid it. You know, JC with the Purple Rain covers, which I still question as to how that was placed, but really, really remarkable. And then with the Killing Joke, and then you have James that wrote little notes on the way. It was great, guys. I'll tell you what I'm happy I didn't see, and that was one slab. Boom. Or, which any one of us could have pulled the slab out at $100 and just gone, there you go. There was genuine effort here, and I appreciate that. Would I do things differently as the runner of the tournament? Of course, but I'll tell you where this tournament came from. 2 or 3 people I've spoken to have voiced the concern that they feel like and this is before this tournament was run, that mystery boxes are going downhill. They're becoming a way for people to get rid of the comics that they don't want. And so when someone doesn't do that, even though it's mediocre, at best, man, I gotta do work. It seems like a really good one. So, you will all have your own opinions as to how this should have played out, and I welcome that. I really do. Like I said, I've played. I have played this in my head many times, and every time a different person won, or it was one of. So it was always one of 3. It was always Chasing Keys and Grails, James, or Condemned Kitten. That won. So take what you want. Thanks, everyone.